What's up, y'all? DPD19 back with yet another video. So today is November 30th. Only reason I'm saying the date is because I don't know when I'm posting this, when I'm going to schedule it out for. I'm trying to schedule out videos for the entire December just because I don't know how making videos is going to be. So while I have the passion, while I have the juices flowing, might as well just make as many as I can now and schedule them out. So for this one, I kind of want to talk about the positives and negatives of MetaZoo 2.0 so far, Meta 2, MetaZoo Second Coming, whatever you want to call it. I don't really give a shit. I want to talk about things they've done well so far, things that I agree with, and then things that are negatives or things that I think, could be improved on. Something simple as that. And this is just constructive criticism as well as patting them on the back for certain things. You guys can agree with me, you can disagree with me, that's fine. I don't care. Like, you're not supposed to agree with everything I say. You can agree with 80% of what I say and be like, fuck you, the other 20% is stupid, that's fine. You can think everything I say is stupid. Again, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna explain what I want regardless and think what I want regardless, but also listen to other opinions. So we'll start off with the positives for MetaZoo 2.0, Meta 2, whatever you want to call it. The first positive is just who's on the team thus far. You guys already know some of the big heavy hitters that are on the team. I don't remember some of their names. I just remember Charlie Herlocker. You have also the guy from that used to be like the head of Pokemon and Magic and stuff like that. So they have some very credible people. They have some people that are very, very smart, well-rounded, and seem to know, like, they know what they're doing. So I'm not at all worried about who's on the team, who's in charge of it. Charlie, I think, is a very smart guy, knows what he's doing. He was involved with all like the Pokemon people, all the people or a lot of the people that hated and talked shit about MetaZoo, but in the background he's like trying to talk to them about, oh, why it's such a great idea, why it can be a great idea. Like, he's been supporting it behind the scenes for a very long time and saw the potential of it if he ever had a chance, which is awesome. It's, to me, it seems like it was always destined for it to happen, where him to own it one day, and once he got it stuck in his head that I'm gonna own it, it's like, all right, now it's just monetarily, what's this gonna cost? Where do I gotta get funds from? Do I have all the funds for it? Stuff like that. So definitely very happy with who's on the team. Another positive is bringing back old artists. I was very worried that one of my favorite ones, Kelsey, wasn't going to be back just because of her work with Cryptid Camp, but because she's not contracted in the sense of like exclusively, she could do work elsewhere. So I'm very happy that she's on the team for MetaZoo in terms of a artist doing work. Like the Dragon of Akanto Falls was the first artwork that I liked so far. The poncho one's cool, and fuck, what was the other one? I remember the guy, but the Goovis bird, is all right, but wasn't my style. Wasn't what drew me to MetaZoo. So very happy to see the Dragon of Akanto Falls, and that kind of leads me to a negative, which I was gonna just separate them all together, but this one kind of coincides with it. A negative so far is the artwork for me personally, just because the Goofus bird looks like the bird from Up to me, and then you have the Flashlight Frog, which kind of gives me NTG vibes, and then the Dragon of Akanto Falls is more like the watercolor, or like gives me more MetaZoo vibes, like something I could have seen in Legacy from Kelsey, and love her artwork, and it's what drew me to MetaZoo in the first place. So I know they're gonna have a wide range of artists, wide range of art styles. Maybe I'm just gonna collect certain cards. Maybe for my wallet's sake, I don't like most of it or really any of it, so I don't feel compelled to buy it. But we'll see when we get there. And that's just selfishly. I hope everyone loves it, but if I could hate it, and it'll help me to not buy it. That's a big reason I didn't really buy Chromium. The Chromium I did bought, I fucking regretted it. So yeah, teasing the artwork and using the old artists, I'm happy with so far. I enjoy it. seeing the old artists coming back is great. Hopefully, we get to see Jet back. I think Jet will be back. Just seeing them in the Discord, I have a funny feeling that they're kind of have a art or two in the cards. And then one that I really hope comes back is Lily. She's just amazing. Have nothing negative to say about her. Amazing artist and just love her work. And that's a slight tease for the future. Well, if y'all remember this video, you'll see what I mean later. So another positive is clearing up certain questions right out the get-go when they reopen the Discord. They had the FAQ where they basically said some of the major things that people would be wondering. What about the old inventory? What about the skateboards? Pretty much tough shit out of luck. I know a lot of people are upset about that, but let's be real. The point of a bankruptcy is you're not really taking any of the liability that they had before. You know, taking on all that debt. So to be fair, they don't owe you jack shit. They don't owe me jack shit. They don't owe me the skateboards that I redeemed. Like, they don't owe me it at the end of the day. Would I like them to have done that as a gesture? Sure, but logistically and time wise, it doesn't make any fucking sense for them. Especially because a chunk of those fans are just complaining to begin with, or just bitching about certain things anyway. So it's like they could just get the skateboards and be like, all right, cool, not going to collect anyways. Like, it's not really going to help much, especially for not new clients, new customers, in my opinion. You can disagree with me, that's fine. And then also, with the gameplay basically making it clear from the start, it is not going to be the same. People are upset about it, people don't like it. I like the gameplay, but I'm fine with them changing gameplay. And they're probably going to change the card look to an extent. I really hope they keep the red borders. I'm fine with a revamp of the UI, but I would like the backs and the red borders to at least stay. I don't think the back will stay just because of the like thing that some people call a fucking pentagram. So to reach a broader audience, I think that'll change no matter what. And then the red borders, I hope at least will stay. I hope we don't go black with the borders, but we'll see what happens with that. At the end of the day, I'm glad that they kind of made it clear that we're not going to get the same exact cards. They're not going to be used. So no point in asking. Just people can direct them to the FAQ and call it a day. And you know, whatever they do with the old inventory, it's their money. They spent it. They can do whatever they want with it. Like, I'm not a fan of people like trying to tell them what they shouldn't do with certain things. It's their money, not yours. Like, they spent the 2 million. Same thing with like gameplay. You can give your opinions, and that's another positive that they're doing is they're listening. They're taking what we say into consideration, but they're not taking what we say and just doing it. Because if they just appease to the existing fans, that doesn't help for all the future fans, the casual fan. That doesn't help with any of that. So appeasing to all the hardcore people doesn't make any sense. You don't want to fully appease to them solely. You want to appease to the masses, and the hardcore fans can come with it or they cannot. And you can do certain things to appease those hardcore fans, like certain mini sets, stuff like that. But or in tournaments and stuff, you can appease the hardcore fans. But for main sets, focus on appeasing the masses, and I think that's exactly what they're doing. And then the other thing is, again, people who disagree with this one, and that's trying not to take too much help from like the community in the sense of like using their skills to help them. Like, one person was said that they offered their digital marketing experience. They never got back to them. Do I think they should have got back and just said no? Yes. Do I know if they've even seen it? I have no idea if they've even seen that message. But if it was my company, if it was me, I would take that person's insight. I would take his opinion. And even though it was the work was offered for free, I would solely take the vision, the opinion, the advice that they had, and might use some of it, might use none of it, you know, at least hear it out. But that's just me personally. But there's only so much time in the day. There's only so much time focused on certain things, and maybe they have already a digital marketing plan already set up, and they don't need help. Like, we don't know at the end of the day. So that's definitely one thing that I didn't like at the old MetaZoo, making certain people think that they were more part of it than they actually are. And that is actually a negative in mind for them. And I'll go into that in a bit. But one of the negatives that I have opening the MetaZoo Discord chat, I think at some point, and I will get disagreement on this, which is fine. At some point, it will close. It to me, especially if it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, it will close. It will get to a point where it's harder to moderate, and it's going to get to a point where if there's unruliness, unrest from certain people, like it's not worth the fucking headache. It's really not. I said it before. I wished that it was solely for announcements, and I'm fine with people posting fan art and doing like the showing your collection part, and the birthday part is fine. However, I'm not a fan of opening general chat. I think there's plenty of discords for that. There's Oasis, there's a bunch of other ones. I think there's a lot of places to do that. I would have been against opening that up personally. And in my opinion, it'll be shut down before the end of next year. I can be completely wrong about that, but I think it is in their best interest to shut it down at some point, because you can only go so far with Discord, and people are going to bitch and moan here and there, and they need to focus more as time progresses on the other socials from Instagram, Twitter, and all that, YouTube, you name it. However, we already know that Captain Bitch Titties fucking Mike Waddell is making things harder for them getting certain socials. It was already alluded to once before, and it doesn't take a genius to see why would MetaZoos, if they had the socials, still keep Bailey's fucking whatnot link in the description part of like the Instagram. It wouldn't make any sense. Someone's being a little bitch, someone's not keeping, oh, I don't remember the password, or fucking refusing to give it. Like, just being a baby bag little bitch. Shocker. Same thing like them being in the Discord acting like nobody sees them. Uh, Another negative is, and I agree with some people on this part, is no basic ad has been created yet. It can legitimately just be a 30-second ad anywhere, a banner ad somewhere here or there, stuff like that. And maybe they want to wait until they have physical product, or closer to having physical product, so people don't just focus on looking for it and then they find old product and they get confused as to, oh, this is MetaZoo, let me buy this. And there's a relearning process, and it's like, how do you teach people the difference between the first MetaZoo and the second one with the new cards and everything? And it's very hard. I will admit it's going to be a challenge, and it's going to be confusion throughout the years. It's going to be hard for people to know the difference, but it's going to be a learning process. It's going to be time consuming, and I think they'll find ways to figure it out. But I would like some basic ad, a minute YouTube video or something about, like, just the logo. And I mentioned this in one of the other videos, a logo saying we're back, quarter one. Some like Charlie just putting his face on it alone is gonna give some credibility to it for other people in like the Pokemon space, especially the hardcore fans. And I think some people give it more of a chance. And I think an ad should at least be put up sometime soonish. I would like it by the end of the year or start of the new year, personally. It all depends too on when they're gonna have product in hand. Definitely a big advertisement ramp up. I'd say a month and a half to 2 months prior. Just kind of gradually increase it, because people do have short attention spans, and they're just, they want shit immediately when they see a certain ad. They have impulse buys. It's like if you're at a supermarket and you're at the fucking cash register and then you see a pack of gum, you're like, oh, you know what? I'll grab that. Like, that's kind of like how people do on Amazon. Same thing. They'll see a random thing. You're like, you know what? I'll buy that for $10 because guess what? It's just a click of a button. If you don't have product yet, there's not just a click of a button. You got to do research. You got to look for something. And even if you just find it immediately, now you're looking at the old MetaZoo stuff. You're buying a booster box, and you don't know that that's not going to be used. You don't know, if you're a casual fan, that that's out of date. That's not playable. That's not anything but collectible and playable with like your friends, like nearby. Like competitively, it's not a thing anymore. So it's it is what it is. It's not easy. I'll say that much. It's not easy. There's a lot of negatives and lots of positives to doing ads now, later, having a website up. Like a website, I think it should be up as just like a, even with a under construction thing, just having it. But again, the question is, I don't know if they do have the website already. I think they do. I think they have the website, like they have control over it, but I could be wrong. It could still be Mike having it and being a little bitch about it. Correct me if I'm wrong and let me know in the comments on that. Another negative is don't make people feel like they're part of the company. And I get it. Like, have they really done that so far? Not necessarily. But you can have certain fans be delusional and they think that they're a part of something that they're not because certain people on the team are having like silly conversations with them. And I'm not a fan of having some of these like weird conversations of like joining in on the weird things we're talking about. Not we, but you know what I mean? Other people like talking about like Lunchly, or like a joke about like, ooh, a Lunchly and whatever collab. Like shit like that just gives some people PTSD from like the Andy, stupid shit Andy used to say, or Mike. Like, I think we could do without that personally. Don't make people feel like they're more part of it than they are. And that's both a negative, slight negative, or going to be if it continues, and it's just like a warning. Don't make it be like that, because there were some people, and not trying to throw shade at anyone, but there's some people where they would go above and beyond and do certain things for the old MetaZoo regime, and I feel like they expected to be offered jobs. They expected to be a part of something bigger with it, and it's like if it was never promised and you thought that you doing all this would make them see you, make them give you the thing that you wanted, then that's kind of on you. Like if jobs were promised and then they just never delivered, all right, I get that. I get being upset about it. But if a lot of things were just like, "Oh, hey, can you come out? Can you do this?" Like a lot of people do videos and they do interviews and all this stuff, or content that shows stuff about other games, or like MetaZoo. A lot of them do that shit for free because they love doing, they want to do it. And if you do it solely with the thought of, or partially with the thought of, I'm gonna possibly get a job from this with all my hard work, they're gonna see me, then you're kind of setting yourself up for failure at that point. You're making yourself seem like you're a part of something bigger than you are, and now you're in this little bubble of like, ooh, I'm doing all this stuff. I'm gonna be bigger. I'm gonna do this and that. Like I'm gonna have a job with them. They're gonna let me do all these different things. I'm so skilled. Like it's not how it works. Like if they're not verbally telling you anything, then you're just making shit up in your head. So don't. It's more of a warning, if anything. Like I said, don't make people think that they're part of the company. Take what they say for consideration. 100%. I do like that, and listening to what people are saying, but don't give them the feeling like, oh, you need to listen to me because I'm giving you my opinion, or make them think that they're part of the company. And I get it, some of it's just people being delusional, and it's not necessarily their fault, but that's one of the reasons I don't want the chatting Discord there, because you're gonna get those delusional people. Wow, they should have listened to me. This would have worked so much better. Even if that way would have failed too, like they don't know because it wasn't done, or because they were right, as if everyone's 100% right. Then it's like, oh, they should take my ideas. I'm so smart. Like, shut the fuck up. It just, I don't want to see MetaZoo go into that spiral again, personally. And then the last thing, and again, Charlie already kind of touched on it, and I agree with him. Doing certain small things, fun things here or there is fine and a fun thing to do. Involve the community, get them involved and whatnot. People are in the motion of, I want everything now. We're impatient. Not just, no, not me, but a lot of people are impatient. They want certain things, and every time you give them information, they're like, well, where's more? I want more. You gave me this, but now I want something else. Like they're being greedy, and some of them, I get it. They're just used to the old regime, and they're just like, oh, I have information. Where's more though? I want more. Nobody can be satisfied without getting everything. And even if they get everything, they might not be satisfied. So a lot of people are just being selfish, in my opinion. But the artist thing is fine, teasing all that in the artwork. I like it. The sign, I will say, was a bit in bad taste, just because of like the little riddle thing and the tease, and the next day it's just we're giving away a MetaZoo sign. That was PTSD from Mike and Andy, 100%. You could have just announced the giveaway and not teased it, and I think it would have went over fine. But instead, teasing something that people got their hopes up, and again, part of that's other people's fault, but you did put it out in a way that making people think it's something bigger than what it is. So that's something I would watch out for. Like, something, I don't remember the fucking rhyme or riddle, whatever it was, about like something about light. And then the video on YouTube was just like, oh look, enter the giveaway, join the Discord. And again, that would have been fine. But the tease was kind of the problem, because people are expecting all this massive shit. All this massive, like, I want gameplay, I want all this stuff, I want card layout, I want all these big things that might not be ready yet, finalized, or they don't want to share it yet. I want all these things and I want it now. And instead, they got a fucking giveaway for a sign. And don't get me wrong, I would love to win the sign. I think it's very cool. I think the video is a fine, not the video, the giveaway is a fine and great idea. The execution of it, though, dog shit. It was not good at all, just to be honest. And I love MetaZoo. I'm looking forward to what they're doing. I'm looking forward to the team and what they can accomplish. But that was a misstep in execution, in my opinion. I think a lot of people would agree on that one. And the giveaway is fine. Some people are going to bitch about the giveaway no matter what, even if it was done the way I said it. So those people just, they're going to bitch to bitch. They're going to talk shit just to talk shit. Like, oh, it's piss yellow. Bitch, what the fuck was the back? What was the MetaZoo fucking logo before? What you want to do? Make it blue so then you can bitch about that? Oh, the new logo is going to be blue. This isn't old MetaZoo at all. Shut the fuck up. Some people just want to bitch to bitch. So obviously they got to ignore that shit. And there's certain people that just want to bitch and moan about everything, complain. It's not the same MetaZoo. It's not this and this. You got something. You got something that they're making again. You're either this, you're either be dead. Like, shut the fuck up. You can't have everything you want. We all knew that it wasn't going to be the same. So stop bitching and wasting your time. Stop wasting other people's time. Stop fucking arguing about it. Like, god damn. It's fucking stupid. But I'm going to stop there before I start ranting. There's another video all set. Y'all let me know in the comments what you think are positives and negatives so far that they've done. Constructive criticism, of course. You can talk no. Constructive criticism. If you're just there to talk shit, I'm just gonna fucking ignore you, because you ain't nothing more than people in Oasis that want to just bitch and talk shit about MetaZoo just because it's the cool thing to do. Or, oh, I got fucking reactions to my comment. Oh, I'm joining the masses talking shit. Like, shut the fuck up. And it's a select group of people that I remember at Oasis that would do shit like that. And it would annoy the fuck out of me. Big reason I left was just because, bro, I'm not trying to argue with people all day. And it's funny too, when someone like Midnight in the MetaZoo Discord, when I'm agreeing with him on something, that should tell you it's a problem. Because I don't like that motherfucker. But I am still a human. He's still a human. Where I can see if he has a good point and admit it. And be like, all right, you got a point there. Don't fucking like you got a point, or I agree with you. But you got a point. I can admit that. If I'm agreeing with them on something, that's a fucking problem. That means you should probably look at what you're doing in a certain situation. So, alright, y'all. That's it for this video. Y'all let me know what you think. Don't know when this is going to be posted, but we shall see. Alright, y'all. I catch y'all later. Peace.